Orpheus, or The Baroque Hour, is a lesser known analog horror series that wears its inspirations on its sleeve. However, it doesn't just blindly copy others, but it blends these elements to make its own thing that is very interesting and at times terrifying. It's got some really fantastic moments, and I recommend checking it out at the link below. We watched it on stream, and so I hope you enjoy my reaction to the series. And of course, of course, Orpheus was a so he's a mythological bard, ancient Greek. Or was he Roman? Um, One of them. And if you remember the story of the guy who went to Hades to go get his wife out, and Hades was like, "Okay, you can because I like your music, right? I like your music, so I'll let you take your wife back." And he said, "But you're not allowed to look behind you at her as you leave." And he gets right back to the entrance of the cave to Hades, and then he turns around and looks at his wife, and she gets pulled back to hell. Very sad. Um, and Hosier wrote a song about it. Well, he references it in a song. And so there's also an ancient religious strain called the Orphic Mysteries. Hang on, let me see if I can just pull up what that specifically was, because I don't remember the specifics. Okay, so Orphism, or the Orphic Mysteries, is a name given to a set of religious beliefs and practices originating in the ancient Greek and Hellenistic world. Okay, so he is Greek. Associated with literature ascribed to the mythical poet Orpheus, who descended into the Greek underworld and returned. This type of journey is called catabasis, and is the basis of several hero worships and journeys. Orpheus revered Dionysus, who once descended into the underworld and returned, and Persephone, who annually descended into the underworld for a season and returned. So Dionysus, of course, was the Greek god of wine and revelry, but he also had a negative side to him too. So like when you drink, it's all fun and games, but that's not what everybody's like when they drink, right? There's a lot of violence and negativity that can come from drinking too. And that's why Dionysus had his Maenads, who would tear you apart if you weren't careful. So that's why he had that balance. If you remember in the Super Eye Patch Wolf New Gods episode we did, he talked about going to party with Bugs Bunny, where the night it would be an absolutely amazing night and super fun until at one point Bugs Bunny does too much cocaine and goes absolutely crazy. That's the exact same thing. That's Dionysus. And Persephone, of course, was the daughter of, I know this. Ceres? Was that her? Was it Ceres? Demeter. Oh, wrong one. Demeter. I knew it was one of them. Who was taken by Hades and then descended into and became his queen and stayed there for a season. And Demeter got sad and mourned her daughter missing. That's why we have like autumn and winter, because Demeter is mourning her missing daughter. And then her daughter comes back for the rest of the year. And then Demeter gets happy and spring comes. That's sort of... Ceres was Demeter. Oh, so that was like the Roman name for it. Oh, there you go. So yeah, look, that sort of idea of descending into the underworld and returning with something, with knowledge. So Orpheus was a Thracian. Oh, can we trust those Thracians? I don't know. Dionysus be like, drink in moderation or you get wrecked. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Orphism has been described as a reform of the earlier Dionysian religion, involving a reinterpretation or rereading of the myth of Dionysus and a reordering of Hesiod's theogony. The suffering and death of the god Dionysus at the hands of the Titans has been considered the central myth of Orphism. According to this myth, the infant Dionysus is killed, torn apart, and consumed by the Titans. In retribution, Zeus strikes the Titans with a thunderbolt, turning them to ash. From these ashes, humanity is born. In Orphic belief, this myth describes humanity as having a dual nature: body, inherited from the Titans, and a divine spark or soul, inherited from Dionysus. in order to achieve salvation from the Titanic, as in from our physical bodies, one had to be initiated into Dionysian mysteries and undergo telete, a ritual purification and reliving of the suffering and death of the god. Orpheus believed that they would, after death, spend eternity alongside Orpheus and other heroes. The uninitiated they believed would be reincarnated indefinitely. Okay. So that's interesting. Dionysus is possibly the same god as Zagreus. Wasn't Zagreus the guy from Hades? The game? Dionysus, the only god you could get hammered with and wouldn't regret it? No, he's the one you would especially regret it with, because you know you would get owned. Hey, D-Hard, how you doing? We won't go through the whole wiki stage, but yeah, I think that's sort of the general thing. Let's see. If there's something else that comes up that I sort of recognize, we'll come back and take another look at the wiki. I should be doing this on the screen so you can see it, shouldn't I? I'm a good streamer, guys. I'm a good streamer. Yeah. The nymphs finding the head of Orpheus. That's so sick. This art's so beautiful. Just stunningly beautiful. If there's anything that I sort of see pop up that I recognize, because I do know a little bit about it, but it's been so long I've forgotten all the words. We might come back and take a look at this after we watch the series. It might be a little bit more illuminating. Hey, Kago, how you doing? If you were Dionysus having a good time. Well, that's true. You will definitely have a good time with Dionysus. It will just probably end really poorly. Dionysus is like the embodiment of the friend that drinks too much and then gets violent. In his ancient Greek cults, they would actually do hella drugs to feel like they better connected themselves to Dionysus. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, drug use back then in rituals was pretty common. It's common today. That's why people fuck off into the Amazon and go do... What is it? What's that word? What do they call it? What do they do in the Amazon to get high? Hang on. What drug do they do in the Amazon? Ayahuasca, that's it. Ayahuasca. They go and fry their brains. They go and get one shot by an ancient demon. Some people who have no idea what mysticism or anything actually is. They've never meditated a day in their life, and they go and get one shot in the desert by an ancient demon. Absolutely cook their brains. That's funny as. Yes, please, San Fran Tech Bros, please go and do that some more. It's really funny. Entheogens. There you go. Greek gods are all sexual demons anyway, except Artemis and Athena. That's true. Okay. So, let's actually start watching that. Let's start watching. That was a fun little aside, but let's start watching. I've lost my tabs. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the Baroque hour. Okay, so I wonder what this means, what this Orpheus means. This is like the name of the season. So there's no playlist here. There's no playlist. Is there anything in the community tab? Why not donate blood? Our hospitals need it. This sounds ominous. Venice, beautiful Venice. Orpheus Analog Horror, okay. Orpheus Analog Horror. So I wonder if this is like... If the Baroque Hour is just the name of the channel and then Orpheus is the actual name of the Analog Horror, that might be it. That happens sometimes. That was the same as last week when we watched Creative Toad Productions' Scarlet Lake Tapes. The Scarlet Lake Tapes was the name of the series, but the channel was Creative Toad. That's probably the same here. So I think the Analog Horror is actually called Orpheus, is what I think is here. Yeah. So I guess we're watching Orpheus, not the Baroque Hour. And here's the link again, because we've been chatting for so long. Here's the link again. Okay, let's watch. Okay, so we're watching a tape. Good, excellent, we love it. Put the analog in analog horror. Oh, and of course, because it's analog horror, you know, just be wary of jump scares and such. I don't know if there is actually, but just be wary.
Now presenting the Baroque Hour.
Orpheus.
Enjoy your night.
The thick rich one, what every girl wants. Okay, no more dick jokes. Wait, why am I off to the side? What's going on here?
Today, at the Baroque Hour, Autumn, by Antonio Vivaldi.
Okay, so the Baroque era is like a time of night where they just play Baroque music. Antonio Vivaldi. Okay, they got me. Yo, we got the Mandela face. Let's go! Oh. Okay. So there's a brief glimpse there of a statue of Orpheus, and it was replaced by like a demon face. I wonder if they are doing a just as a guess, I wonder if it's like they're doing a Mandela style. It wasn't Orpheus that came back, but a demon. Okay. So there's no playlist here. It can't autoplay. Okay. Now presenting the Baroque Hour. Enjoy your night. Cool. Oh, what's the transcript? Nothing. Okay. This is an analog horror about how Vivaldi and Mozart and stuff were evil monster demons. Maybe. How you doing, Flan? Can you put subtitles? Yeah, we'll put subtitles on. Baroque period was the period that harpsichord was the most used as well as popularized. I like harpsichord, it's pretty cool. Baroque is stinky? Uh-oh, stinky. Hi there, do you allow streamers to react to commentary for this series live on stream? That's kind of cringe, I don't know. Absolutely? Oh, I don't know why you'd say that. Wait, is that even showing up? Anyway. Okay. I think so. Oh, wow, one 3 hours ago. What the hell? Wow, that was good timing. Sick, pretty keen for that. But you can see the ones where people, with analog horror, people like certain things. They like spooky faces. They like faces, is what they like. And you'll often find last week when we were watching Creative Toes, the thumbnail that had a stick man in it, like the analog horror stick man, where it's like instructions. The one that had that in it was the one that was most popular in the thumbnail, which is funny. So remember, guys, if you're making analog horror, make sure to have a stick man or a creepy face in the thumbnail. Okay, that'll do it. It was like those PSA type things that are popular when you get shown spooky, weird stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see, because we've only got the first one there, and the first one is usually the roughest in terms of, because the creator's usually learning and figuring out what they want to do as they go. Right? It's pretty rare for a creator of an analog horror series to be like Local 58. I can't remember who created that, but the guy behind that already had a really long career in doing video projects and other art projects. So he had a really clear idea of what he wanted to do. But now, with most analog horror, it's people, the vast majority is people doing it for the very first time. It's often their first editing project at all. So they're coming in completely fresh. They don't know exactly what they want to do. They don't know exactly how to do it. As a result, you get some pretty interesting stuff. Like, I really liked the first couple of episodes of Creator Toes. They were so different. And then as he sort of figured out his things, they got a bit more towards, I guess, traditional analog horror, right? If you can be a tradition that's been out for like 5 years. So I imagine that this one will change a little bit as we go over the episodes, and it will sort of figure out what it wants to do. But I don't know. I don't know anything about Baroque Hour and who's behind it or anything like that. I haven't seen any links to like, off-site Twitter or anything like that, so I don't know if this person is experienced or not. I like a story that doesn't require me to stop on a perfect frame and mess with the saturation to see a link to a site that takes me to 3 different sites with clues as to who might potentially be the bad. I think that can be fun. I like having elements like that, but when it is the main storytelling focus, then that's a series designed for like Nextbo to cover. And I think a series should be enjoyable on its own, is what I think. Well, they're being recommended his own stream. Absolutely, yeah. Oh wow, yeah, I should go click that. I get recommended my own stuff all the time. It's like, YouTube, do you know who I am? You're like, you know my accounts are linked, right? You know I'm, yeah, I think a series, you should be able to sit there and watch it and enjoy it and still get a fairly good idea of what's happening if you pay close attention. I don't think you should have to dig through that stuff. That's me personally, but when people do enjoy that. People like the chase, right? They like the ARG element of it. But then at the end result of that is that the vast majority of people will only ever experience it through, like a Nextbo or a Nightmind or Manaxa or someone like that. But that being said, that's how the vast majority of people experience analog horror and all sorts of internet horror these days, is just through, I guess, what would you call it? Horror commentary? Would you call it that? I don't know. That doesn't feel like a right word. What would you call channels like that explain and elaborate on analog horror like that? Like, if I were to sit here and make a video about explaining what happens in the Baroque Hour, or the spookiest Orphic mystery series you'll ever see. What would those channels be? What would they be called? When you go on Nightmind is what you call that genre. Yeah. Gooner likes. I think it's called Night Gooning. Night Gooner likes. Okay, let's keep watching. A brief aside. Awake Orpheus 2 analog horror. 7 minutes this time. Okay.
Bradmore Police Station. This is Officer Johnson.
Hello. Yes. This is Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. What is the reason for your call?
I wanted to report something unusual, and that honestly has been distressing me since last night. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had fallen asleep in front of the television when...
Okay.
Heck, give me a second. Well, my television started flickering, and there were flashing images appearing, and tremendous music playing in the background. I had nightmares all night.
Oh, I see. So, there were pictures appearing and tremendous music. Yeah, let me write it down so I don't forget.
Officer, I hope you are joking. This is serious.
Please don't waste our time, Mr. Smith. We don't go into action just because of some random society reject who takes drugs and falls asleep in front of the television.
The word Orpheus kept appearing on the screen, and that music, that fucking music. You have to help me, officer. Officer, you have to believe me. Please, I beg you.
Good day, Mr. Smith. And stop abusing that shit.
Okay. You should have trusted them? Question mark? That's interesting. Okay, so we have Mr. Johnson and Officer Johnson and Mr. Smith. Okay. And Mr. Smith has watched the Orpheus hour, the Baroque hour, and got owned by Orpheus. Okay. Interesting. Believe me. That was a pretty funny AI text-to-speech, wasn't it? Hate everyone using the same one. Was it the same one as other ones? I don't know. I actually the only AI text-to-speech I listen to is when people send me when people send me like Facebook videos that have that same like black guy's voice. And I heard it like 1,000 times, and it just grates my ears because you can tell it's AI. Whenever I hear AI text-to-speech, my immediate thought is just get a voice actor. But then I'm like, I'm a VTuber. VTubers are basically voice actors, and I know a lot of VTubers because I am one, right? So finding a good voice actor is really, really easy for me because I know like 20 of them. For the average person, it's probably don't know 20 voice actors who would be happy to work, for cheap, right? So it's like, oh, okay. You say just get a voice actor, but it's like, oh, it's not that easy. Exactly. And it's not just find a voice actor, it's find a good voice actor too. Because a bad voice actor will just kill your series, won't it? It'll look bad. So it's definitely not easy, is it? Let's keep watching. Let me just check the quality. Okay, yep, 380p. That's how you know it's good. Let's turn the subtitles on. I don't think we'll need them. We probably won't need them, to be honest. Was it a good idea to call them? The police? Ooh.
He woke.
He woke?
He discovered too much about us.
I do love the Mandela faces. But you'll see here, that's that Orphic sigil we saw just a second ago. It flashed up on screen. It was somewhere in here. It's the lute. Is it a lute or a lyre? I think it's a lyre. And a goat head. So it's an Orphic demon. He woke. He's woke. Dropped. I'm not watching the woke analog horror series. Oh boy, am I glad that politics hasn't infected analog horror. Could you imagine people arguing about like woke or what's the other word? Woke or chud analog horror? Could you imagine? Oh man, it would ruin it overnight. Anyway, we do love the. Oh, there it is.
Bye, Mr. Smith.
That's a cool symbol. Is that a bull's head? That's a bull's head, isn't it? It's not a goat head. Goofy demon. No, that's him. He got his face mutated. Is it a goat? I'm trying to tell. Fanboy hypnosis analog horror. Oh no. We should theory craft the cringiest possible analog horror at some point. I think that'd be great. Analog horror Jack. Oh, that'd be funny. Analog horror Jack. God damn it. Lamb head. Oh, maybe. I think there's supposed to be horns as well, is what I think. Analog horror, but it's an extremely conservative man who sees himself as a Sigma. Perceive everyone around him as woke puppet monsters. Oh no. Consistently make mistakes in my life, and looking up lamb head was one of them. Well, it's better than what I did the other week. I looked up, what did I say? Cat Undertale. I looked that up. Thankfully I didn't do it on screen, but it was... Analog horror where each protagonist is forced to drink soylent whiskey and transform each being to a soy jack. Like a call. Hey, he drank the soy. You gotta help me. You gotta come help me. You come there and his face is soy jacked.
Mr. Smith.
Orpheus Global Corp. Okay, so we have a corporation now. 1955.
Greetings to you, police cadets. It is a pleasure for us at Orpheus to know that responsible guys like you will be the guardians of our project. This may be the first time you have heard of us, but we have been here much longer than you can imagine.
Okay.
Let me specify one thing before we begin. First rule.
Our existence must remain secret. Our existence must remain secret.
Our existence must remain secret or else you will not end well. But now, you need not fear. You are in good hands with us.
Oh, okay. So that was at the start where it's like, should you have trusted them? It says something like that. It's just like, should you have trusted them? Because the cops are, like, specifically there to protect Orpheus. Orpheus Corp. Okay.
We now turn to case 17. An awake within your jurisdiction.
Mandela effect by the imposters want to nibble your ass instead of replacing it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know what they want yet. We don't know.
First of all, what is an awake? Very simple. Any person who, by an unfortunate coincidence, has managed to consciously view the subliminal messages that we broadcast daily in the global media.
Oh. That was funny. Just change it like fuck it. Any person who, by an unfortunate coincidence, has managed to unconsciously view the subliminal messages. Okay. So they broadcast subliminal messages using Baroque hour. And one of the police's jobs is to track people like that down. Okay. Good morning. Mounting. Good mounting. I don't know why I said morning there. I'm an idiot. What even is morning? Good mounting at your Harakazu.
Obviously, that person not being used to seeing these kinds of images or messages on a conscious level will enter a state of severe alertness. We do not yet know the causes of this, but it seems that some individuals possess a particularly developed brain that coincidentally allows them to pass over the filters we apply to avoid detection. But how to recognize an awake? Simple! By observing the symptoms. Awake symptoms are anxiety and frequent panic attacks, nightmares and night terrors, paranoia, visual and auditory hallucinations, convulsions, or even coma.
Realization. Derealization. Distortion. disfiguration.
In case a civilian calls the police station reporting seeing strange images on the television and also describing any of the following symptoms, we need to be alerted. We will then proceed to keep the subject under close supervision. In the best case, the subject will commit suicide before a month is up, unable to sustain the effects of conscious exposure
In the best case.
to our messages. But in the unfortunate case that he survives more than a month, he will begin to realize the truth, seek information, understand more and more about us, and in the worst case, even go so far as to agitate riots. Therefore, in the event an awake survives suicide, he will be taken and forcibly sacrificed to the Most High, our only Lord Orpheus. He loves the souls and blood of those who are too curious.
Okay, so yes, it is a case where instead of Orpheus coming back, it was the devil. Because this is a classic. This is Baphomet, I think. It's a classic as above, so below, devil kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. So, wow, they're just laying that out there straight away then. Isn't it? That's interesting. I wonder where this is going to go. So usually, I mean, I guess it was pretty easy to predict that this was going to happen. Like, oh, it's not actually Orpheus; it's a demon that came back instead, and then it's just using Orpheus as like a mask. So far, it seems like it's very, I would say derivative, but inspired by Mandela County catalog. Which isn't a bad thing. Mandela catalog was really good. So, but I really like the editing in. But wait, before I go on this, we'll finish it. We'll finish it.
Hey, Mom. It's Alex. I don't have much time left, and I didn't want to leave you without saying goodbye. I know I haven't called or visited you in the last few months, but I'm in grave danger, and I didn't want to put you in the same situation. I think I got a little too much attention from a very dangerous cult. They control the whole planet. They are everywhere. They have been around for a very long time. I did some research. I realized the truth. I hope you will find this tape to have one last memory of your son. Fuck! They are inside the house.
Whoa! They analog horror in his face. Is he okay, guys? Chad, is this real? Let me show my mother the knowledge I'm being killed for having. Yeah. By the way, Mom, the cult is coming to kill me for the fact that I even know they exist. So, okay.
It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had fallen asleep in front of the television.
I don't know. This is the same thing that happened with, I think it was Creative Trade. Maybe it's the one before that. Well, whatever the one we watched before that. Not Dylan Clark's one, like the Portrait of God, the analog horror we watched before that. I don't know if it's trying to be a comedy or not. Because this inflection, you're right, this inflection here was really funny. I was trying not to laugh while listening to it.
Hey, Mom, it's Alex. I don't have much time.
And the fact that his name is Alex, because that's something that Wendigoon brought up when he was talking about the different series. It's like every analog horror needs to have an Alex in it. And this feels kind of on the nose. Like Alex, because the guy that made Mandela County was Alex Kister, right? Or did he do Backrooms? I can't remember. But he said that everyone needs to have an Alex.
Time left, and I didn't want to leave you without saying goodbye. I know I haven't called or visited you in the last few months, but I'm in grave danger. And I didn't want to put you in the same
And yeah, it is the Dementia meme song as well that came on. Heartache.
situation. I think I got a little too much attention from a very dangerous cult. They control the whole planet. They are everywhere. They have been around for a very long time. I did some research. I realized the truth. I hope you will find this tape to have one last memory of your son. Fuck! They are inside the house.
One last memory of your son getting brutally murdered.
Fuck! They are inside the house.
Oblivion NPC type dialogue, yeah. They are inside the house. I feel like it feels a bit too on the nose. I don't want to be mean. That's the thing. Like it's impossible to tell sometimes whether they're trying to be funny or they're just they're trying to be serious, and it sort of falls really flat. Because this whole last scene is pretty funny. But the reason I feel a little confident saying it is meant to be funny is because this editing was really good. Like, I love this section. Like, the editing's pretty solid throughout this whole thing, but I really like this section.
Project.
With the police. And, like, the awake is supposed to be funny.
First of all, what is an awake? Very simple.
And this section was cool with the footage.
Recognize an awake by observing anxiety and frequent panic attacks, nightmares and night terrors, paranoia, visual and auditory hallucinations, convulsions.
I think this is actually, I'm pretty sure I saw this recently. This is actually footage of an Iranian man who got rabies.
Or even coma.
Realization.
You can kind of see the goat's eye there too. It's pretty creepy.
Derealization. Distortion. Disfiguration.
In case a civilian calls the police station reporting...
Literally the goat. It's the goat. I do think it's intended to be funny. I really do. But no, I like this episode. Editing is really good. It's improved from the last one. Very obvious inspiration from Mandela County here. This is like this shot could be straight from Mandela. The pure black and white. And then the goofy face. It has to be. It has to be, right? It has to be. I wonder what this is. I wonder what that is there. Maybe we'll find out later. What's making them morph into analog horror men if they're supposed to die in a month? I think that so here it says they call them, and I think what Orpheus company, because remember this tape is for the police, right? So this tape is intended for the police to watch it. So I think Orpheus company is saying that don't worry, we're not going to kill them. We're just gonna watch them, okay? And so I think I don't think they're saying like, call us and we'll be hitmen and we'll kill them, because a cop wouldn't want to do that. Even a corrupt cop is a bit like, oh, do we really want to kill people on a mass scale like this? That's something else. So I think that they just tell them that so they know, so Orpheus company can send out a hit squad, and then the cops don't really know exactly what's happening, is what I think. Curious to see if it keeps getting more and more vile, absurd. Terrorizing the form of man as punishment more and more. It'll be interesting, yeah. I'd like to see, I'm very interested to see where this is going so far, because it feels pretty tongue-in-cheek. This episode in particular feels really tongue-in-cheek. And the fact that it's called Awake as well, well, you can't really see it. This episode is called Awake. So it's like, yeah, I know what's happening. And then another goofy face. Very high quality clip art style for a police training video. That's true. This is set in like the 50s, isn't it? I think. Okay, you ready? You ready? Let's keep watching. That's enough chatting. Let's keep watching. Medicalstudies.mp4. Orpheus analog horror. You know what? You know what we'll do. What we'll do sometimes. We'll get you guys to submit ships, and we'll judge your taste, and we'll roast the hell out of you guys. That'd be funny, guys. We'll do the ship. We'll do the shipping episode. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'm legit gonna write this down. Hang on. The shipping episode. You guys. That one's gonna bang. That's gonna bang. Okay. Hey, Blackberry Dilly, how you doing? That's the staff of Asclepius, isn't it? OMC. Dr. M. Senway. I think we have to read this out. Doctor responsible for autopsies and cadaver studies. Delaware. Okay, so we're set in Delaware. Maybe. Orpheus Medical Center. There we go. Oh no, bros. Hey, Cathal, thank you very much. Who's that on the bros? Oh, what is that? Yeah. Hang on. Almost missed that. What is going on there? Is that an eye? Like, is that like a giant, like, eyeball with, like, an eyelid? Is that what's going on there? Oh, right. This might be okay, this is going to be an autopsy video because it's medical studies, autopsies. If you're squeamish with gore and such, I would maybe keep the tab open, but, like, minimize the tab. Okay. Oh. Study and analysis of patients who died of awake syndrome or sacrificed to the master. Okay. M. Senway. M. Senway. Is this a pun of something? Is this like a reference to something? M. Senway. M. Senway. Memnosine? No. Hang on, let me see. Memnosine. Memnosine. In Greek mythology and ancient Greek religion, Memnosine is the goddess of memory and the mother of the 9 muses by her nephew Zeus. She's one of the Titans, the 12 divine children of the earth goddess Gaia and the sky god Uranus. Name basically means memory. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep that in mind as we watch this. I don't know if that's actually it. Maybe it's just a coincidence. The tickle monster. Average person. Okay. Oh, are we doing it? Are we doing the comparisons? Let's go, bros. Let's go. We're doing the comparisons. Analog horror, bros. We're here. We've made it. Let's go. Like in the man in the suit in the Goji, the Godzilla, analog horror. What we expected and what we got. Oh, awake corpse. Distorted face, hollow eyes, enlarged mouth, dislocated jaw, dull skin. But see, that's the thing, right? They did that to him. Like in the last episode, what was the guy's name? Was it Smith? Mr. Smith? They did that to him. That only happened after they got into his house. So maybe the humans don't realize that the demons are doing this. Maybe they just think that that's what happens naturally. How you doing, Mintmont? Did I say hello to you already? Ooh, yes. Spookums, let's go, bros. spooky. Oh, the skulls all caved in. Spooky. Maybe this happens since... Maybe that happens since God knows how much, and they think this death is normal? Maybe. Well, there's standing orders by the police that to keep it under wraps, right? So, who knows how common it is. If it was too common, they wouldn't be able to do that, would they? I don't think there was an Orpheus. I think it was always a sinister force. Maybe. Sacrifice. Disordered eyes, wide nose, enlarged mouth, exposed teeth, dull skin, perpetual grin. Okay, so if you get sacrificed, if they scoop you and sacrifice you, then you get the grin. Oh, that's what happened to Smith, is he got sacrificed because he had the grin. He had the Mandela grin. The moon scorched? Troll face. They're analog jacks. Because I'm happy. Me dealing with customers. Oh, now we got the spooky hat. Oh, and look, she's got the liar carved into her skin as well. So yeah, that's definitely what happened to Smith. That was his name, right? It was Smith? Happened to the fella we saw before. Like, if you get sacrificed, it looks like you get the liar, so. There's a PSA about meth a while back that had before and after shots like these. Scared the hell out of me. Yeah, that would be scary. Big grins. Oh, no teeth. The alternate Riz. Oh, this is the fella. Yeah, this is him. I wonder if this is a creator or this is just a picture of him. If so, he's got a thick neck. Bro's been working out. Good on him. Missing art category of Twitch the past 2 days. How to sacrifice a human being. Let's go, bros.
Sacrifice a human being. First step. Prepare an altar in a suitable room. Second step. Place the human on the altar.
Okay.
Third step. Pray.
That's really cool, actually. That's great. What a great shot. Wow. Okay, we had to rewatch that because that was perfect. That was actually perfect. I love that. Let's watch the whole part. Here we go.
How to sacrifice a human being. First step. Prepare an altar in a suitable room.
Okay, you guys writing this down? Prepare an altar in a suitable
step.
room.
Place the human
Place a
on
human
the
on the
altar.
altar. Okay. Sleepover activities.
step.
What happens when you fall asleep
Pray.
first at the Orpheus sleepover? That's great. How it comes out of the distortion effect. It's like it distorts and then it like sort of appears. That's great. And the music kicking in at the exact same time. Awesome. Awesome shot. Like, awesome segment. Love that.
Step 4.
Oh.
Prepare the branding iron.
Okay, so we're not finished yet.
Step 5. Brand the body.
Okay, so that's a brand.
Step 6. Hope it doesn't come back to life.
Okay, was that backwards? Jump scare incoming. There it is. I knew it. I knew it. You can't get me. I'm so glad that wasn't like ear-splittingly loud then. I would have shit myself. Hey, Pro Creations, thanks for coming in. Yeah, we're going well. We're watching Orpheus Analog Horror. It's pretty sick so far. Really enjoying it. It's got some great editing. Great editing. Backwards, definitely backwards. Yeah, we'll have to check out what the comments say. Usually the comments are pretty good and actually explain this stuff, so I don't have to try and mess around with this on stream. But thanks for coming in, Pro Creations. Appreciate it. The end. No jump scares? No jump scares. Okay. So I think that this guy that came back to life is actually... I think that's Smith. I think that's actually him. Because he's like... It looks the same. The face is the same, yeah. So this is the guy from the call in the second episode. He gets owned by the cult. They sacrifice him. And then they... It seems like they can set up the altar wherever they want. It just has to be a suitable room. And then they go there, they kidnap you, they set up the altar in your house, they perform the sacrifice, and then you die. And then they sort of just left him there, and then he gets up, and he's alive still. So Smith, Mandela Smith is back. But who is this, though?
Hope it doesn't
So there's someone lying here.
come back to life.
I don't know what that is. Is that like a light? I think that's just a light on there, right? I think this is someone sleeping, right? And then he's watching them. So I wonder if that's like his mom. I wonder if that's his mom. You guys reckon? Wasn't that guy awake? I thought that happened, unless it's just the spooky face. It's not relevant. He was sacrificed. I think, you know what? When he became awake, I think that was he was in the process of awakening. And then the cult got him and then strapped him down. Or maybe that was just the process of him getting sacrificed too, because it was just like a headshot, right? We don't really know. I think it's just, I don't think it's supposed to be like some sort of weird twisteroo or anything like that. And we'll find out later, but I wonder who, maybe this could be, I don't think we have enough information to know who this is yet. It might be like a cult member who sacrificed him. It might be someone else entirely. It might be his mom. I don't know. I don't think we have enough information at the moment. So, or maybe it's what the reverse voice says. Let's see. Can you see the comments? You can't really. Let me just get into something here. Yes, it is good. It is good. But I understand the sacrifice is much more dangerous than the awake corpses, especially after being branded. Yeah. Nothing came out of reverse. Oh, okay. So he must be speaking Latin. Okay, so he's not actually speaking reverse. It's like Latin. It could be reverse Latin, I wonder. Japanese Urban Legends and Rituals Volume 1 Unlocked. That looks sick. That looks sick. I'm gonna... 100k views? It's a little bit much, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll note that one down. We'll note that one down. My dog did that, except he's not a dog anymore. We brought him to the church and pray he doesn't grow a brain or his leg. I hate when that happens. Are you being serious or joking, buddy? I wonder. Ever think they went to brand someone playing dead or just freaked when the guy woke up screaming that one time? Now that's canon. Oh man, that's great. That's great. Okay, someone who dies from awake syndrome stays dead, but if you get sacrificed, ... Okay. So if you die from awake, then you... Okay, so the phrasing here makes it seem like you can get awake without dying from it. So it seems like if you like commit suicide or die from it after a while, then you don't come back, but if you get sacrificed, you can. So I guess if you can get sacrificed while you have awake. So I guess that's sort of what we were suggesting, isn't it? Maybe, we'll see. Okay, that's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick episode. They're really good. I actually really like that episode. My favorite so far. So, okay, so that was episode 3. Let's go to episode 4. Human curiosity is pure selfishness. That's really interesting. Actually, what does the description say here? Medical studies are implemented at Delaware. This file of extreme importance for our cult and making it public could cause disorder and panic among civilians. Please use caution. Regards, Dr. M. Senway. Are the tapes? In case the civilian calls the police station reporting strange images on the television, we need to be alerted. So I wonder what the story is for the tapes. Because usually there's like a reason why the tapes are being public, or why there's a collection of tapes. I don't think we've got a reason yet, do we? It seems like what I suspect is that these tapes are in the collection of the cult, because like this one straight up says, this is for extreme importance for our cult, making it public could be. So it seems like Dr. Senway is handing this tape over to another member of the cult, right? So let's keep watching. So this is episode 4, Elections, and what does the description say again? Human curiosity is pure selfishness. American pilot from the 60s committed suicide. Oh, that's sad.
Citizens of Bradmore.
Remember to pray for people who commit suicide.
Our wonderful little town needs a mayor who can show America what we are worth. And who else but Jacob P. Foster can take the place of the new mayor?
Jacob P. Foster.
I was born in this city 60 years ago. It was a wonderful place. I still remember when several of today's buildings were not yet there. I am very attached to this place. That's why I want to make it a perfect place to live in. Dear fellow citizens, my only mission is to bring prosperity to this happy little town. No crime will be allowed anymore. We will create together a place where families can live happily. Think of the children. Vote for me.
Don't miss the polls on June 6th. We need your vote.
I'm going to vote for this guy. I like him. Think of the children, guys.
Foster for a new Bradmore.
Vote Foster, guys. I agree. Here we go. What are you doing, Orpheus? What are you cooking up? Okay, no, we have to look at that. We have to look at that. What was that? Creepy goat. Okay. That's it.
We welcome you to the big family of Orpheus. We know very well who you are, and so we send you the best greetings, Mayor Jacob Patrick Foster from the happy little town of Bradmore in Delaware. And our kind staffer has no doubt explained to you when they handed you this tape. Every mayor must go through these procedures.
Every mayor? I wonder if it's like of this town, because it's Delaware again. So I wonder if this is where the where that hospital is. I wonder if this is ground zero of whatever Orpheus Corp is doing.
Even the one who preceded you and his predecessor before.
Oh, he is literally just explaining it, right? Okay, the one who preceded you and the one... Yeah, so it's definitely this town is definitely under the thrall of Orpheus Corp. Maybe other ones too. They haven't really been shown yet. I think it's just been in Delaware, so...
We need trustworthy mayors to lead the flock of Orpheus. You probably have never heard about us, but we have been operating continuously for centuries. The whole world is under our rule, and you better submit to. We know your family very well, Jacob Patrick Foster, so you'd better cooperate with us. And remember to keep your mouth shut. Our resistance must remain secret.
That's creepy.
You might even get some benefits from your participation, but
Yes.
only those that will be allowed by your position within our hierarchy. Here's a quick explanation for you.
Ooh.
In the lowest level we have police officers, the only position that allows scum to rise one level without too much effort. In the second level we have your category, city mayors and other minor offices.
Orpheus doesn't like humans, does it? It really doesn't like humans. The only position that allows scum to rise. Well, that's demons for you. Demons do not like humans, so.
At the third level, we find politicians and their councils. At the fourth level, we have the higher brothers.
Okay.
Among them are presidents, businessmen, and several millionaires. They are the only ones, without exception, who can attend our rituals as participants or spectators.
Okay. So these guys, police officers, minor officials, and major officials, aren't allowed to participate in rituals at all, or even see them. That's interesting. So I wonder if that means the sacrifice from last time was only these people here. It's interesting to think that, you know, if you're gonna get sacrificed by the cult, and then Jeff Bezos and Musk just show up to your house and like, hi, how you doing? We're gonna kill you now. Nice to meet. And you're like, wow, I'm a big fan, Musk. Can I take a quick spin in your Tesla first before we go?
However, come now our supreme leader, the most important mortal figure for our cult.
Okay. Hang on. We have a mortal. So the supreme leader is a mortal figure. Interesting. I wonder if we've met them yet. Probably not. Hey. Demons get the brick.
Who the hell is it at this time of night?
Sir, this is Fedderson.
Ah, Chief Fedderson.
Okay.
Why the fuck are you calling me at this hour?
Sir, we received a call this afternoon. Seems to be a clear case of awake.
Another one. Why are they so frequent?
Okay.
Those idiots at the local TV station had said that they could broadcast awake-proof subliminal messages.
It is impossible to broadcast awake-proof subliminal messages, sir. Whatever precautions we take, there will always be someone able to see through our filters.
Ah, the hell with it. What is the name of the subject?
Smith, sir.
Oh,
Alexander
here we
Smith.
go.
He lives in Jefferson Street all alone. His mother and younger brother live 2 blocks away.
Thank you for the information, Fedderson. I will contact the Delaware section. I hope they hurry to take him. This awake thing is getting on my nerves.
It
Okay.
is the role of the police to keep you updated in the situation within the town.
So I wonder if they don't want to. It feels like they wouldn't want to transmit awake-proof stuff because that way they get a steady stream of sacrifices, isn't it? Should we rewatch it? Should we rewatch the conversation? Let's rewatch the conversation.
Who the hell is it at this time of night?
Sir, this is Fedderson.
Ah, Chief Fedderson. Why the fuck
your
are
own
you
ring.
calling me
Ah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
hour?
Sir, we received a call this afternoon. Seems to be a clear case of awake.
Another one.
And
Why are
another
they
one.
so frequent? Those idiots at the local TV station had said that they could broadcast awake-proof subliminal messages.
It is
So I wonder. So there's two things here, right? I wonder why the TV station said they had awake-proof subliminal messages. Why would they think that when Orpheus has been pretty clear that they can't do that? So someone's lying there. And another thing is, I wonder if they specifically don't want to awake-proof their messages because it gives them a steady supply of sacrifices.
Messages.
It is impossible to broadcast awake-proof subliminal messages, sir. Whatever precautions we take, there will always be someone able to see through our filters.
Ah, the hell with it. What is the name of the subject?
Smith, sir. Alexander Smith. He lives in Jefferson Street all alone. His mother and younger brother live 2 blocks away.
So his mother and younger brother live 2 blocks away. If you live 2 blocks away, why would you not see someone for like months? Because he said he didn't see his mum for like 3 months. I guess some people are like that, right? You know, I guess it happens. I don't know. I think I would go over to my mum's place for dinner, like, you know, once a week or something if I lived 2 blocks away. Maybe the people that can see through the filters are the chosen sacrifices. Well, anybody who gets awake syndrome is somebody who can see through the filters. And only some of them get found before they KYS themselves or they die from awake syndrome however way. They want to find them because if they survive awake syndrome, then they start riling up other people, and that's what they want to stop that. If it seems like if they catch them before they die, then they guarantee sacrifice them is what seems to happen. So and if you get awake, you tend to go crazy. So it seems like if you get awake, you are dying one way or the other. That's what I think is happening. I like how Foster's face looks photoshopped into someone else's head. His head looks, yeah, it's an interesting pose, isn't it? I like it though. It looks a bit uncanny. I like it when analog horror does the Photoshop bodies that look a little bit odd. I think it gives a nice uncanny look to it, I think. I like it.
Mother live 2 blocks away.
Thank you for the information, Feddersen. I will contact the Delaware section. I hope they hurry to take him.
Something else here too. He says, I'll contact the Delaware section. I wonder if they're being rused and it's actually just entirely in Delaware. And the cult is like, no, we're global, but they're not actually global. Although that being said, the devil does have dominion over Earth because that's how it works. And if this is just straight up the devil, then yeah, it makes sense that they have they have cults all over the world then.
I hope they hurry to take him. This awake thing is getting on my nerves.
It is the role of the police to keep you updated in the situation within the town. If the presence of an awake is detected, you will be notified and must advise us as soon as possible. Then we will take care of the situation, and you will have to do nothing more.
Okay. So it seems like there's a clear chain of command in the cult, right? So the police officers have to notify the mayor, then I imagine the mayor has to notify the next guy up, and then the next guy up notifies, you know, the cult. So you wouldn't, like a police officer wouldn't be able to talk to like the president to do this. The police officer has to talk to the mayor. So it's a clear chain of command. So you don't, the person at the bottom never speaks to the people at the top. They wouldn't need to. It gets passed up the chain. We'll take care of the situation. Oh, nom. What secret? Who's asking that? Thought the mayor. Oh, he's so dead, bros. I also want to know. To know about their sacrifices. No, buddy, you don't. Would it be so bad to secretly follow them in their rituals? Bad idea. Yes. We've got it. Uh-oh. Bad idea, Mark. Oh, that's great. That's great. Is it as good a delivery as the Mandela one? Bad idea. I think the bad idea mark, that delivery on that was a little better, but it's still good. It's still good though. Makes my awake chocolate seem a bit more ominous now. It's good. I like it. The goat head. He's got blood in his teeth. It's great. And sorry, just to say, I like the one in Mandela catalog a little better because it just goes boom, it doesn't fade in. So I think when I would do this is I would go, it'd be so bad to simply follow the rituals. I would hard cut. I would go bang, hard cut to that. And not have like a few seconds thing. I would just go boom, bad idea. Gemma dear. That's good. That, like a hard cut like that was good. What the hell happened to that man? The man was very concerned. I thought their sacrifices were simple murders. Better go home and forget what I saw. It's too late, buddy. They know.
Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions.
They killed his whole family. They are all dead. It's only your fault, man. Human curiosity is pure selfishness. People like you must be punished.
Happy days are here again, the skies of all are clear again.
What an ending, that was great.
Citizens of Bradmore, elections are coming up. Our wonderful little town needs a mayor who can show America what we are worth. And who else but George M. Dewar can take the place of the new mayor?
It was the exact same dialogue, but they just switched out the name.
Our wonderful little town needs a mayor who can show America what we are worth. And who else but George M. Dewar can take the place of...
Oh, this segment was awesome. How good was it?
Happy days are here again.
Oh, that's great.
Clear again.
Wow, okay, I love that section. That was so good. Oh man, yeah, this was great. This whole episode was awesome. You can tell the creator is getting way better at it. Editing's better, what's happening is better. Voice acting, I still think it's AI, but it's getting a little better. Yeah, great episode. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, like I've only got all throughout this so far, I've only had minor nitpicks. Except for the voice. Was it the voice acting in this one? Even have voice acting? No, it was the voice acting in this one. Was pretty awkward. I think it would be better to even just get. If it's supposed to be really tongue in cheek, then this voice acting's fine. Like the AI voice acting's fine. But if it's meant to be a little bit more serious, I would legitimately just get two of your mates to do the voice act, like yourself and a friend to do it, because it would be better than the AI stuff. I think because AI stuff is just awkward. It's good though. I'm really enjoying it though. Some of the editing is just fantastic. Like this scene here with the sacrifice, awesome scene, just awesome scene. Fantastic. Fantastic scene. Music is used so well in this. Music is used fantastically. Like this part here, where after he shoots himself, the music just starts playing. Perfect music choice. It's perfect. Great portfolio piece. Yeah.
Happy days are here
Like,
again. The skies above are clear again.
Perfect music. I even thought that I was originally thinking, oh, you know what? As a nitpick, I would say hard cut to this instead of having a fade in, but it fits the music.
Happy days are here again.
It's good. You know, for a series by a channel called the Baroque Hour, which is obviously based on music, music is used fantastically so far in this. Maybe even the best. I'd go so far as to say it's the best music usage I've seen in analog horror. I think Valverde had some good ones, but that wasn't the focus. And this is so far it's been much heavier the focus, and it's been good. It's been really good. Okay, next episode. Hey, big man, how you doing? Venice, Italy. He will raise again from the depths of the prophet's grave. Oh, here we go. It's funny, yeah. Analog horror series always do this. They'll have longer episodes, and then just randomly they'll drop a tiny one in the middle for some reason. I wonder why they do that. Guess we'll find out. Let's watch Venice. Beautiful Venice. Venice. The spot. Church of Santa Maria Gloriosa del Fiore. Okay, we're gonna have to look this up afterwards. Okay, so there's a cavern under the church. These are old leaders. Probably the leaders of the cult. The smell of iron and putrid. Hang on, no, we need to see who that leader was. El Prete Rosso, leader from 1718 to 1741. I'm going to write this down. We need to write this down, don't we? Hang on. Il Prete Rosso. Let's just write one of these dates down. Here we go. Smell. The big girl has been filled. Okay. He will rise again from the depths of the prophet's grave. No. What was that? Oh, it's the same text. Venice, beautiful Venice. Come with your family. Goat was there, yeah. Okay, nice little episode. Let's see. Where was this church? Here we go. The Church of Santa Maria Gloriosa de Santa Maria Gloriosa de Frari. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about this. So I feel like this is tongue in cheek, because you absolutely can't have a massive cavern underneath Venice. It's swamplands. It'll be filled with water. I definitely feel like this one's joking a bit. Let's see. Let's punch this in. Here we go. Okay. Commonly abbreviated to the Frari, is a church located in the Campo de' Frari in the heart of the San Paolo district in Venice. It is the largest church in the city and has the status of a minor basilica. The church is dedicated to the Assumption of Mary. Okay. Notable for many tombs and works of art that accumulated in the centuries after it was built. It contains very many grand wall monuments to distinguished Venetians buried in the church. Okay, so there's lots of people buried there. Ah, interesting. Famous people buried there, probably members of the cult, I guess this is suggesting. The Assumption of the Virgin and the Passero Madonna. The basilica contains the only rood screen still in place in a church in Venice, a vestige of the Venetian Gothic architecture. What is that? What is a rood screen? I don't think this is relevant, but... So it's like a screen that separates the front and the back of the church, I guess? Common feature in late medieval church architecture, but rood screen would have originally been cemented by a rood loft carrying the Great Rood, a sculptural representation of the crucifixion. Retention of any visual barrier between the laity and the high altar was widely seen as inconsistent with the decrees of the Council of Trent. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, it's a barrier between the common folk and the priesthood, which definitely is part of the cult, isn't it? Okay. What's this about? What's it about? Originally rather shocking to the Venetian public, but soon recognized as a masterpiece. I wonder why it's shocking. Assumption of Mary was a Catholic doctrine that remained optional in the early 16th century. It was not declared an article of faith until 1950. It's the Assumption of Mary. One of the four Marian dogmas of the Catholic Church. We pronounce, declare, and define that to be a divinely revealed dogma, that the Immaculate Mother of God, the Ever Virgin Mary, having completed the course of her earthly life, was assumed body and soul into heavenly glory. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so this is a Catholic dogma that Mary, body and soul, is in heaven, which is very rare in the church, very rare. But her body is without sin, so that's why she was able to get in. Okay, let's see if there's anything interesting here. I don't think so. Church temple hosting funerals and other gatherings for the deceased. Let's see if there's anything like prophet. Nothing to do with a prophet here. All right, let's see. What's El Prete Rosso? Let's see. El Prete Rosso. Okay, at the age of 15, he began studying to become a priest, and he was nicknamed El Prete Rosso, the Red Priest. So this is Vivaldi. Okay. Yeah. Look, that was the dates. It was 1718 to 1741 or something like that. He was the leader of the cult. And he was a Baroque composer. There you go. And he was the Red Priest. Is he buried? Is he buried in that church? No, he's not buried there. That would have been funny. Okay, interesting. That explains the link between... Wasn't Baroque called like... I mistakenly thought that Baroque was like connected to the devil somehow, but I guess I'm not correct there. It would say it here, wouldn't it? So Vivaldi was a leader of the cult, and the cult seems to be centered in... Hang on, where is it? The Frari, which is about the Assumption of Mary going heavy in body and soul into... I wonder how that ties in. I wonder if that does tie in. Well, we'll keep this in mind. We'll keep that in mind. I think we'll keep that in mind going forward. So next one, blood donation. And now, a message from our beloved president.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. I'm here today to ask you an important question, which I think you have a duty to answer. Have you ever thought about offering your blood?
Okay, so it does seem like the cult does go to the highest echelons of power. So you've got if this president, I've actually completely forgotten his name. If this president is doing the work of the cult, so yeah, it does seem like the cult actually does have power over the world. AI voiceovers the future, yeah. Is he a vampire? Good question. I guess we'll find out. Why, yes, I have thought of offering my blood.
Have you ever thought about donating your blood for the homeland? Our hospitals are in great need of it. And I know in my heart that the population cares about the health of the patients. You would never let one of your relatives die, would you? Well, now imagine that one of them needs your blood to survive. What would you do? Of course you would donate it without a second thought. That's why, just for your benefit, I and the other leaders of the earth have put ourselves on the line to reach your consciences with one cry. Donate! Donate your blood!
Since 1955, several accidents have occurred. Each of them is carrying a large amount of blood from donation centers. At the scene of accidents, ambulances were always found with a cargo of blood mysteriously stolen. The case is still open, and ambulances, even to this day, are still being attacked around the world. The ambulance vampires, as the media calls them, have never been caught, and their presence has brought a blood shortage to hospitals around the world. BBC News.
The ambulance vampires strike again. In Birmingham, an ambulance has been found completely destroyed at the crossing of Albert and Whitton Roads in Birchfield. Police are still investigating the incident and the resulting theft of blood. The two drivers were found dead. Prime Minister Thatcher expressed terrible sadness at the incident and urged the people of Britain to continue donating at the designated centres to remedy the blood shortage in British hospitals. Good evening. Another incident caused by ambulance vampires worries the people of Birmingham, where an ambulance carrying blood from the nearest donation centre...
Oh, we're back on the ground again. In the last video too. So it's this is under the church. That's what I think. Oh, here we go. Giulio? Is that how you pronounce it? Giulio Moravia, worker from Rome, Italy. He was working on the renovations of the church of Santa Maria Gloriosa de Frari in Venice. After a sinkhole opened in the floor of the basilica, Giulio fell underground. The sinkhole was quickly closed, and the other workers who witnessed this were eliminated. What? Eliminated? What does that mean? Hey, how you doing, Jennifer? Put that shit in the bag. Sir, this is a blood bank. Exactly. Pronounced like Julio. Julio, is it? Julio. I can do that. Julio. Fun fact, hospitals are basically in constant shortage of their blood supply, not because of ambulance vampires, lamely, because blood is a living tissue that can die. Oh, okay, so it's like on a timer, right? Okay. Average Mexican construction worker experience. It is suspected that the subject who has seen the tank room and the content of the... Hang on. of the well, so his immediate sacrifice is required. We cannot risk him finding an escape path and telling what he saw to somebody. What is the tank room and the content? What is the well? Hang on, hang on. In the last video, they said that the well was full. Didn't they say that? Or something like that? Frapollo was involved? I bet he was. We'll have to call him up and say, Frapollo, what are you doing, buddy? Cannot risk him finding an escape path. Okay, so he's still trapped down there at the moment, at the time of this video. So is this footage him wandering around there? Or is this somebody looking for him? That's all the hole. Kill him. Basically. Oh, creepy rooms. Let's go, bros. Jump scare. Jump scare time. Get ready. Okay, yeah, this was definitely part of the last episode. He saw. No, Julio. You okay, buddy? Today's guest, Dr. Michael Sandberg, Section Chief of Hematology and Oncology at the Christiana Hospital. Blood steady. The well is where this god's going to rise up. Yeah. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, because they talked about something about the I've forgotten the term already.
Well, let's say that the situation is quite serious. The ambulance vampires have been operating on a regular basis since the post-war period, and in recent years they have caused a heavy shortage of blood for the hospitals. Our patients require blood during surgeries and in extreme emergencies.
Oh, sorry.
And at the moment, we cannot guarantee such large supplies. They attack ambulances, steal all the blood supplies, and then kill the drivers. The fact that no one has been able to find and stop them all these years is terribly serious.
We suggest the name Ambulance Vampire.
What do I think about it? Well, I'm of the opinion that these are simply contraband traffickers who resell.
I was going to say, like, the name Ambulance Vampire is like a cool name. And everybody's using it, which is really, really unique for people across the globe to use the same name, isn't it? So, but yeah, it looks like the cult put the message out. Use the name Ambulance Vampire. That's actually really clever. That's a really clever touch. Yeah, I'm wondering what the deal is. This like, is it like a real guy that he cut the face out of to use, or is this like deepfake stuff? Because yeah, it is really good, isn't it?
Contraband traffickers who resell.
We need a quicker method for blood collection.
So in conclusion, it is necessary for all American citizens, and not only them, but also all the citizens of the world, to make an effort to donate their blood to the specialized centers where it will be collected and transported to hospitals in the...
Oh, they're dumping the blood down that well. That's what they're doing. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, that's what they're doing. They're dumping the blood down the well. So they're sulfur cultists, basically. Oh. Oh, you know what it is? So in order to summon the souls of the dead from Hades, you needed to sacrifice something. You needed to have a pool of blood there. And I think what they did in the Odyssey was that they sacrificed a goat or something like that, and then the souls of the dead wanted to drink the blood. Tying it back to Orpheus, and Orpheus would have done something similar. I haven't read the specific tale of Orpheus, but I imagine he did something similar, where he sacrificed someone or something, rather, probably not a person, but a thing to open the gateway to Hades. Hope for an Alex Jones cameo in this. So far, it all seems to be footage from like originally the 50s and now it's like the 80s. So maybe we'll reach modern day. Why haven't we used Alex Jones in analog horror yet? I feel like he would be pretty good. Using clips of him for analog horror would actually be pretty good. I wonder if YouTube maybe cracks down on that. That might be a thing too. Joyce, he's getting stronger. Oh, it's the cult. Oh. It just ends.
Donating your blood for the homeland.
Okay. This was a solid episode. It didn't have any, like, major wow moments like the previous ones did. Like, no cool moments like that or like this. Solid, though. Solid episode. I want to know what play this is from because he's used lots of footage from this play, so... I think it's definitely a play about Orpheus, obviously. Inanna/Ishtar sacrificed something at each gate to a deeper layer of the underworld when she descended to bring her husband back. Oh, okay. Interesting. That seems to be a common theme in underworld stuff, isn't it? Didn't feel like this episode had a highlight. Yeah, it needs like a big boom moment. There's a lot of lore dump in this one about the vampires. But it needed a bit of spice, a kick. There was no scene that made me sit back and go, okay, I need to rewatch that scene. Other than that, pretty solid. Editing's still great. Voice acting is it feels a lot better than the early episodes, that's for sure. And what if this is...
Ambulance vampires have been operating on a regular basis since the
What do you guys think? Is this deep fake? You know, how they take a picture and then it animates it?
Shortage of blood for the hospitals. Our patients require blood during surgeries and
it's hard to tell because of the heavy effects on top as well. So it's sort of hard to... You can't really get the usual tells.
And at the moment, we cannot guarantee such large supplies.
But it looks good. If it is, pretty good if it is.
Our patients require blood during...
Maybe the creator made a face on Photoshop then used deepfake. That's what I'm thinking. Imagine being Hades and seeing all these souls going somewhere. Yeah, Hades did not like...
Situation is
did not like when people came down.
Ambulance vampires have been operating on a regular basis since the post-war period, and in recent years they have caused a heavy shortage.
It could be because look at his mouth. Look at his mouth, right? Can I get a little closer? Look at the mouth.
It's serious. The ambulance vampires have been operating on a regular basis since the post-war
period. See, it doesn't quite move like a real mouth, and you can't see the teeth or anything in there.
Shortage of blood for the hospitals. Our patients require
so I think this actually is a deepfake.
In extreme emergencies, and at the moment we cannot guarantee such large supplies.
Yeah, I actually think it is.
Steal all the blood supplies and then kill the drivers.
Which is pretty cool. That's pretty sick. Yeah, that's really good. I think stuff like things like this show how you can use AI in an interesting way in your project. I don't think AI is automatically bad. I think there are definitely bad uses for it, and a lot of the uses you see on like Twitter and that are really bad uses for it, right? Just wholesale making new art and all that sort of stuff. That's sort of kind of lame. But when you use it to do interesting stuff like this, like. Because you want to be careful implying that some random doctor from the 80s was actually part of this secret cult to steal blood from everybody and raise the devil. And you want a very specific look, and realistically, you're not going to be able to hire an actor for this stuff and do a full set design for some random horror series online. You realistically don't have the money, time or expertise for that. You just don't. So yeah, thanks for coming in, KG. I really appreciate it. So making a brand new character and then being able to deepfake this stuff, I think is
been
good.
Operating on a regular basis since the post-war period.
Anyway, that was blood donation. Okay, and now we've got 3 hours ago. We have general study Orpheus. You know what? I'm gonna here. I'll link the channel again. Make sure to go check this out if you're enjoying it. Make sure to subscribe. And yeah, see how they're going. Oh, 6 hours ago now. Okay. Has it really? We've been watching this for like 3 hours. Okay. Let's watch. What was the description of this one? Rejoice. Okay. We ready? Let's watch. Guy has 777 subs and 7 videos, does he? One of you subscribed and ruined it. That's funny. Almost. Okay, let's keep watching. Okay, oops. Warning. The following videotape is a property of OMC. The viewing of the following audio-visual data is prohibited outside of assisted facilities. So OMC is the hospital that doctor worked at, who is the hematologist, and he's a member of the cult. And he studies the corpses of sacrifices and awake victims. And apparently runs the blood the blood hijacking too. He's part of that, so. OMC. Hang on. That must stand for Orpheus, wouldn't it? Orpheus Medical Center. Orpheus Medical Center. There we go. We got it. Dr. G. Bergman, Head of Broadcasting Experimentation Division. Okay, that's interesting. So he's the guy in charge of the subliminal messages. OMC USA Central. A general study on awake syndrome. Let's go, bros. Recording of last month's TV schedule. Okay, so it looks like we're going to... Oh, this is the sacrifice room. Subject number 1, Bob. The subject was captured while returning home from work. He has no special features. He's the average American man. He looks a bit stressed though. Poor Bob. Look at him.
Good evening, Mr. Bob Miller. You're in very good hands. This is not where you. Please relax and keep your eyes fixed on the television at the center of the room.
Oh, okay, so they're... Oh, that's creepy. They're watching him through the window. They're experimenting on the recordings, so... This is interesting. Why would they... They have a recording of the Baroque Hour, of the subliminal messages, and they're trying to figure out what it does. So I wonder why they're doing that. Shouldn't they have access to the raw recordings and not like... I guess... Is that Bob? I'm overthinking that, aren't I? First hour after exposure. After viewing the messages without protection filters, the patient is visibly confused and frightened. Okay. So So they're giving him, okay, so they definitely have the raw footage, right? So the messages come out. We don't know what the messages are yet, do we? We don't actually know what the messages do. What their intention is. And so they play it through the Baroque hour in order to filter it so most people don't realize it's happening. Some people, no matter what, can see through the filters. And then they get awake syndrome. And what they've done now is they've kidnapped a guy and they've exposed him to the raw message without any of the protection. They've hit his brain raw. And so now we get to see what happens with raw awake syndrome. So I'm sorry, this wasn't I said this was a sacrifice room. It wasn't a sacrifice room. This is just where they're experimenting. Similar to the film you find in Terminator about yeah, it is actually. While only special human beings are able to see through the filter spontaneously, for anybody else, this is not possible. So, by forcing natural conditions through the elimination of the filter from the TV screen, we can generate an artificial awake. Only in this way is it possible to study the stages of the syndrome step by step. Okay. 10 hours after exposure, the patient suffered from nightmares and night terrors during the entire night. Early symptoms of awake syndrome are beginning to appear. So I guess they wouldn't... When they get someone who's awake, they're only alerted after somebody is already hours later, and they want to figure out the early stages. So I guess that's why they're doing this experiment. That makes sense. Chosen sacrifice, yeah. They probably will. Oh, I wonder if they will sacrifice this guy, actually. Being exposed to our messages without the filter protection is comparable to being exposed to the direct powers of Orpheus. So Orpheus is the devil. There's no... this one's interesting because usually what happens is that we don't know who exactly is doing... Oh, no, I guess in analog horror it is common to find out who's doing it. But we don't know what they're doing, right? What is it? What is happening? Like, we go back, when you think of like Mandela Catalog, the whole thing from the start is like, we know it's Satan, we know it's the demons, we know they're doing something, but what are they doing? And it's sort of slowly figuring out what they're doing. I like how it's a bit of a reversal. Where usually in horror, you're slowly drip-fed what's happening, and then you only sort of figure out what's doing it later. But this one is like, no, it's the devil. Like, it's just straight up, it's just the devil, right? You know, they're doing that. Okay, what are they doing? That's what we're slowly being drip-fed. So awake syndrome is basically identical to being exposed to the devil. So that's sort of what happened to the mayor. He got awake syndrome. That's, he also, so he would have probably KYS'd himself, even if his family weren't dead. Because he had awake. And I guess that's why they're very, very careful about who is actually allowed to interact with the devil during the religious ceremonies, is what I think, because most people can't handle it. They need to be slowly prepared for it. And even if an average cop or average politician went and saw it, they would just get mindfucked straight away. 2 weeks after exposure, insomnia, hallucinations, and paranoia are gradually driving the subject into madness. Can you imagine being trapped in that room just 2 weeks cold anyway? It won't take long until the subject's elevated intracranial pressure leads him to be afflicted by severe headaches, delirium, and skull deformation. So his brain is literally expanding from what he's been exposed to. Yeah, KYS'd himself. I love saying that. He kept himself safe. Afflicted by God of the depths. Basically, it's very similar, isn't it? The terrible pain the patient will develop and continued hallucinations. Hallucinations? Is that misspelling? Is hallucinations a thing? I thought something was a misspelling last time and I got owned because it wasn't. So I'm just going to check. No, it is a misspelling. Okay. Yeah, I got owned last time, so I'm not too quick to call something a misspelling until I check it now. The terrible pain. Let me do a doctor voice. It's English. Oh, you're right. It is. The terrible pain the patient will develop and the continued hallucinations will lead him to a natural desire to end his life. But if he is able to resist, or if the possibility of suicide is denied, further symptoms will develop. There you go. How you doing, Catholic Venus? Good to see you. Yeah, what are these further symptoms? We don't often see that, do we? Two months after exposure, the patient endures the pain with difficulty, and his facial/cranial features are now mostly unrecognizable. We can't get a good look at him, can we? He's slowly becoming conscious of the power that has poisoned him. The realization pushes him to attempt gathering all useful information to discover the truth about his condition. Okay, so realization is a word that's come up before in terms of this, and then they said derealization, so I guess we'll find out. Mark of Alu, what's that? The patient will then enter a phase of severe derealization and detachment from reality. Now, all he does is repeat the name of Orpheus between his screams of delirium and pain. His brain is totally deformed. Okay. Hang on. Let's double check. What's derealization? Derealization. Mental state where you feel detached from your surroundings. People and objects around you may seem unreal. Even so, you're aware that this altered state isn't normal. More than half the people that have this disconnection... You're just saying everything around you isn't real. Turning into Jimmy Neutron. 4 months after exposure. Natural death was from awake syndrome. Okay, so he actually died from it. I wonder how he died. Did his head like explode or something? The subject does not attract too much attention. Death by skull deformation will be the natural end of awake syndrome. The corpse will appear as an empty shell, empty to both life and soul. Interesting. The corpse will remain in lifeless state. Remember, sometimes they come back. Before, oh, here we go. Let's go. Ooh, he has been hollowed out, hasn't he? So, what happens if the subject starts attracting too much attention? Sacrifices. Sacrifice is what we get by sacrificing a human being to master Orpheus. And they tend to have that big grin on their face. Sacrifice is used especially in cases where those with awake syndrome become inconvenient to the organization. When the subject during the agony of his condition draws too much attention to himself, or if, driven by the awareness given by the syndrome, he seeks information about us, his fate is sacrifice. Okay. Sacrifice is also inflicted as punishment on those who find out what they should not, or worse, on members who betray. This is a new family. Subject number 2, Peter. Hang on, no. After contracting awake, he began screaming in a supermarket that the end of the world was near. We're screaming in a supermarket. We're not supposed to know that. He was transported to the local centre, then anaesthetised and moved to a proper room. Oh, that was good. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as last time. It was still good. Now his soul will be forever with him. That was good. It's the exact same thing as before, and it was still good. Good jump scare. Yeah, that was good. And his soul will be forever. Yeah. His soul at his disposal. Side effects. Possible revival of the subject of death. The end. Okay, so I'm curious how many episodes are left of this series. Oop, go away. Because it feels like we're getting closer to an end. Because we've got, straight up, the end of the world is near. They're stealing all the blood. I'm pretty sure it says in this one that the well is full. Yeah, here we go. The big well has been filled. So they've got enough blood. The end of the world is near. I wonder how many's left. I'm really curious. General study on awake syndrome. I still want to know what actually happens when the body revives. Like, are they prepared? Does the body attack the cultists, or are they used somehow? Well, we're not. They attacked somebody. Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. So he was probably speaking in Latin. Hang on, let's watch this part again. It does kind of sound like Latin, doesn't it? Maybe backwards Latin? That'd be funny as. Jump scare. Interesting. I do wonder what that says. I feel like that would be that might be important. It wouldn't shock me if like a demon inhabits the corpse then, because the soul has been cooked, right? Is it backwards? It's not backwards text because somebody, yeah, here we go. Nothing came out from reverse. So it might be Latin, it might be backwards Latin. It does sound reversed, doesn't it? I wonder if anybody else figured out what it says. What is the sacrifice at the end even saying? He's telling everyone who asked. Oh, what does that mean? What is that sacrifice at the end even saying? He's telling everyone who asked. What does that mean? Creatures with distorted faces and religious focus. Feel like I've seen this type of AIG before. At least I don't make FNAF tapes. Oh, that's a funny joke. Make fun of FNAF tapes instead of providing reasonable mysterious. I think this. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's a funny joke. I don't think he meant anything by it. It doesn't feel like it. So fuck it. Let's read the. Let's get into the tea. Let's spill the tea, boys. Religious themes. I don't deal with religious themes. Just because there's a demon people praying doesn't mean there's religious themes. I'm not seeing cults controlling every corner of the world in Mandela Catalog. Series is about creatures infest mainly Mandela County. Then in Mandela Catalog, there are no dead bodies come back to life. No subliminal messages conveyed through media and music. No theme of mythology. There is, at least as far as I know, no corrupt police serving some organization. I would say that's enough. Just because there are distorted faces, as in my analog horror series, doesn't mean it's a copy of Mandela Catalog. Oh, it's Theft King. That's funny, him popping up here. He does a bunch of FNAF stuff, I'm pretty sure. FNAF, he looks at a bunch of FNAF stuff. I don't know if he does general analog horror, though. Like, it's obviously inspired, like, it takes a lot of inspiration from Mandela Catalog, like, obviously, right? It's, but it's definitely its own thing. Different visual style as well. I really like the focus on music. I'm really enjoying the focus on music in it. I would like a little more. I would probably try and lean. You know, this is just coming. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know, you know, how many episodes are going for. I don't know, like, what Baroque Hour's plan for the series is. So Let's get up to, actually, hang on. First, before we get into constructive criticism, let's go. What do we think of the story so far? What's happening? Let me get some BGM going. So far, we've got the Orpheus cult controls the world. It seems we're fairly certain they control the world. The Pope, every world leader, everybody's in on it. And we know that from the blood drives. The cult are stealing blood in order to fill up a big well underneath, the Del Frey? Is that what it's called? Something underneath that church in Venice. And they're doing that to resurrect, to bring Satan back and end the world, is what seems to be happening. For some reason that we don't know yet, they are broadcasting messages and telling people this. They're manipulating people through hidden messages in the Baroque Hour TV show. They're manipulating people that way. Some people can see through that, and that's a disaster for the organization because they send their crews out, because that can unravel the whole plot. So they send their crews out to make sure that person is sacrificed or unalive from awake. We don't know the reason why they're doing that yet. It could be they need people who are suffering from awake as sacrifices. Maybe they need to be aware to be sacrificed, is what I'm guessing. Maybe they're bound to, because there's that old sort of meme that the cults need to tell you what they're doing. The New World Order cultists need to tell you what they're doing to have power. Maybe that's what they're doing here, is they need to tell everybody what they're doing in order for it to work. Maybe it's that. I don't think we have any clues as to why it's actually happening yet. That was perfect delivery, I think. That was fantastic delivery. This first episode was, it was okay. It was pretty standard sort of spooky video. But that's the first episode, right? First episodes are never amazing. Read something about saying what you had to let people know. Yeah, I wonder if that's involved in this. I wonder. That's kind of meh in terms of design. Like, they used the name Orpheus, but if they used Satan instead, it would have been the same. For the most part, you're right. You are right for the most part. They do use footage from, it looks like a play about Orpheus. Earlier on, it used a lot more Orpheus symbology. But afterwards, it has just been like, you could just use Satan and switch out the lyre for a pentagram, and it really wouldn't be any different. What I like about it so far is that the editing is solid. It's great. The spooky faces are not very spooky, and I don't know how intentional that is. Like, it was episode 2. It felt like a comedy. It was funny. Like, this whole episode was really funny, and I thought it was like a bit of a parody about analog horror. But then afterwards, it gets serious, and it's really good when it's serious too. So I think Awake may have just been a misfire. I think in hindsight, I think episode 2 was a misfire. This one was a really solid episode. I don't think the spooky faces are that spooky. I don't know how you would fix it, to be honest, because they're really integral to the whole plot now, aren't they? That the spooky face stuff. I think they need eyes. Eyes make stuff way spookier. If there's no eyes, it comes across as less spooky. Like, this is way spookier because of the eyes, but then the teeth make it sort of look kind of goofy. So I don't know. I think the pictures don't quite land for me. What do you guys think? What do you have any criticisms of it so far? I'd like to see more analog horror about Greek orcs. That would be sick, yeah. You're right. I would like more stuff about Orpheus and bring that back around somehow. Because right now it is just, it's just the devil. Which I'm fine with. Like, I'm not saying that just using the devil is bad, because it is quite an effective tool for analog horror, as Mandela County proved. And like, scenes like this are sick. Like, I love this scene. It was great. You absolutely nailed it. Speaking directly to the creator here. Absolutely nailed this scene. Like stuff like this face it just comes across as more goofy than spooky, and it's hard to tell the intention a lot of the time, to be honest. This scene was good. I like this scene. I feel like you could have been a bit more subtle with the face. I'm nitpicking here at the moment, but I like this scene. I like this one very much. Love this one. Big info dump, which is great. We find out more about the cult. Find out more about how it operates. And then this scene, starting from basically here to the end, loved it. Just loved it. If I had to nitpick this one, I would say that you could probably tighten up this section here talking about it. Although info dumps aren't bad, they're not bad in this genre. That's just a personal thing. Is I try to lean away from info dumps, but people like it. People love info dumps. So. So bad to see it's not bad. Actually, you know what? In hindsight, I didn't like. I would have liked it to hard cut before, but I kind of like that. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Yeah, it's good. And this ending nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Perfect. Oh, it's so good. It's such a good scene. Yeah, like, your editing's getting way better at this point than the earlier episodes. This crying over a picture is very... what's the not FNAF series about the animatronics? What's that one? It's like FNAF, but it's not. It's based on it's an analog horror series inspired analog horror. Walton Files. Thank you, Permission Rose. Walton Files. So this scene is very Walton Files with like the edited picture, the crying over the top, but. And you know, when I'm pulling up these references and these inspirations, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's good to reference stuff that works. Like, if you're gonna take stuff from anywhere, take the best stuff from the best series, right? Take the good shit from Molten Files. Take the good shit from Mandela County. Take the good stuff from Local 58. And then mix it up and add some different inspirations, like adding like the myth of Orpheus and that stuff, and make something brand new. And that's what you're doing here. And it's coming out really well. You've definitely improved over the series. And you're getting some impressive scenes. Like I'm impressed by some of these scenes, which is great to see. And it's not just you're just blatantly ripping Walton Files, because you're not. You're doing it. You're changing it up, and it's great. I think Elections might be my favorite overall. Yeah, I just don't think these faces landed. This might be my favorite scene. This sacrifice, how to sacrifice a human being, and this is a great shot as well. How good is this frame? Baroque Hour understands that you need good frames. You need good screenshot frames in analog horror. A lot of people don't get that. But you need to be able to screenshot this and say, this is sick, I'm going to post it on Twitter, I'm going to share it to my friends, look at how cool this is. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And you need that with analog horror. Great. Oh, such a good shot. I love it. There's probably a reason for this. But for some reason, this one could have just been part of like the next episode or the end of Elections or something like that. So I don't know why this is separate. But it's a good little informative one. Nothing special. Really, really informative, actually. Good delivery. Solid. Not amazing, but really solid. No big wow moments, but it's a short one, so, you know. Yeah, I would like to know if this is that deep fake stuff where you put a face and then you can, like, manipulate it around. I think it is, because it's really good if it is. This one had some funny moments, like the blood stuff. It's great. That's why I think that the comedy is intentional, because there's some really, really funny, cheeky moments.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. I'm here today to ask you an important question, which I think you have a duty to answer. Have you ever thought about offering your blood?
That feels like it's supposed to be funny. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I hope it is. I hope I'm not making fun of you here, but that was funny. But then, like, it actually gets like cool information. The vampires are pretty cool. Yeah, no like big shocking. I think this was supposed to be this part here was supposed to be the big shock, the big wow moment of this episode.
To hospitals in
So he does use the Orpheus. I'm pretty sure this is a play about Orpheus here, right? So it does get used a lot throughout there, but I would like to see the themes of that being brought in a little more. And I feel like it's getting there, because we've got the pool of blood coming up, which I imagine will be covered in episode 8, because they've been building up to that, right? Building up to that since Venice, blood donation, and a general study. Like, it's all talked about here. So it's been building up for 3 episodes, so I feel like the blood pit will be big, but I would like to see... more using the story of Orpheus, like the going down and coming back up. Maybe something about music, more about the music, the mysteries, anything like that. Just I would like to see that brought in a bit more if I had a major criticism. A slightly less major criticism, and this is just a personal thing that I would like to see, is leaning more into music. I guess you could bring them together, right? I'd like to see you leaning more into music, because whenever you use it, it's great. Like, you use music so well into these scenes. So I'd like to see a bit more of that. Big emphasis on music. This is good too, yeah. I like this scene. This was a really solid. This whole episode was very solid. I like the editing. I like this part where it's like the time lapse. I thought that was great. Great art there. But again, the face fell flat for me. I just don't see it as spooky. Is that's sort of like a big issue with the faces, is that I just don't find them spooky. They just look kind of goofy sometimes. This was cool. This was a jump scare, so let's sit down a bit. That was good, but I like it. I liked it better when it tied in with the music instead of just more of a jump scare. I think you tied in like in this one. I wouldn't say just literally just do this again, right? But when you tied in with the music, it works. That's your strength, I think. And just doing jump scares, I don't think is your strength, because jump scares are easy. But yeah. Great so far, really enjoying it. The particular jump scare shivers even the 4th time around, yeah. Cool logo. I love the logo. We had a clear shot of the logo somewhere, didn't we? Do I still have it up? Where is it? I've lost it. Hang on. It's around here somewhere. That logo was sick. Great logo. Yeah. Such a good shot. I love this shot. So there's a lot about this series that I really, really like. And there's some other stuff that I don't hate anything about it. There's nothing I hate about it. But there are definitely things that I would personally change, and I think could make the series a lot spookier. Is the faces just don't land for me whatsoever. Like, and it can feel disappointing when you've got this really cool build up, and then the faces, the spook just doesn't land. It just doesn't land. So I think that if you start landing the spooks a bit more, I think leaning, like I said before, I think leaning into spooks like this, which you nail, and like this one at the end of Elections, which you absolutely nail, leaning in a bit more to that stuff rather than trying to lean on spooky faces, which at this point, none of them have really landed for me. Instead of trying to lean on them as the spooks, I think that would be a smarter move to do that. Lean into your strengths. Get what's unique about this, and the unique part is the music, and playing into the music really well. Great music choices. Lean on that. You know, even after like a week after Mandela Catalog came out, everybody was sick of the spooky faces. Even in that, right? To the point where I'm pretty sure it was Alex Kister, where Alex himself started parroting it in his own joke videos, right? So I think trying to do the spooky face is just I would steer away from that as much as possible. I know it's part of the series now, but you can't exactly change the series. You had to, you've got the series, right? But I don't think they're effective scares, is what I'm saying. You have more effective scares in the series already, so I would use that more, basically. So. But the thing with the faces is attempting to keep the more human features. That's usually what unsettles people, the more uncanny valley. Okay. I feel that the spooky face didn't do it, then you could lean more into music. Like, I'm sure there's a specific tone that makes one nervous. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's the, what do they call it? The shepherd's tone? That'd be great to use in a video. When was the first time we see an awakened? Did we see an awakened in the first episode? No, first episode was just spooky editing, I think. Yeah, first episode isn't like any... First episode is the Baroque Hour video that gets played, I think. And then we see it... here. Well, he contracted awake syndrome, but he hadn't started transforming yet. But then he got sacrificed. So he's a sacrifice here. And then he actually gets up. I don't think we actually see someone die from awaken until... Oh, here, we see these pictures. Yeah. So we see a bunch of pictures here in episode 3 of awake corpses. Because there's a slight difference there. It seems like you have to have awake syndrome to get sacrificed, but you don't die from it, so you're technically not an awake victim. If that makes sense. So more spooky memory than in the vid. Yeah, the faces just don't land, unfortunately. That's how it is. Yeah, I really do want to see where this is going. I feel like it's getting close to the end, is what I feel like. More stuff could get introduced, of course, right? It could get introduced. But it feels like we're getting close to finding out, like, what the blood pit is. Because that's been built up for a few episodes, and the last major question, other than that, I think, is what the exact what the broadcast is actually doing. So, cat with human teeth meme. Hope the creator has some high priest or something to explain why the deformities happen, like why they're just pogging while the others are troll facing. Yeah, I do hope that gets explained a little bit. This proves there's still some good analog horror out there. This is a very good series though. Like I very much enjoy this series. It's very good. The editing is phenomenal. Yeah. Editing's great. Very solid series. Very solid. So, hey Mother, have you seen The Boys Are Back to Kill You? Yes, it's so good. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now they aren't even grabbing people at their shitty lives to test them on awake syndrome. I'm glad this explains the process of derealization and realization. One thing I might be overthinking this, while the corpse remain in lifeless state kind of bothers me. Alive subconsciously but literally dead. No, I don't think it means that. I think it means that because it says that he's got no soul in it. So it's sort of a scooped. It feels like the sacrifice ones are kind of like a vessel that can sometimes have a demon put back in them. So, from my observations, awake syndrome is not totally a syndrome. It's something gathering knowledge or information about the identity of yeah. Okay. Very good series. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys rate it? Do you enjoy it? Are you enjoying Baroque Hour's Orpheus? Hang on. No. This guy's Orpheus. Julio. He's doing the Orpheus thing. Oh, okay. This feels like this might be the Orpheus thing. Because he fell into the hole and they can't find him. Oh, no, he died. That's right. Okay. Scratch that. He wasn't doing the Orpheus thing. He's dead. Okay, maybe next time. Maybe we'll get an Orpheus yet. Give us an Orpheus. That would be sick, right? Episode 8, give us an Orpheus. You know what? This is just spitballing here. I love coming up with ideas for this stuff. So this is just me bullshitting. Don't take this seriously. Give me someone whose wife was sacrificed to the cult, right? What sacrificed to the cult, and her soul is with the devil. So then he goes to the basilica, goes under there, and this is the footage from that person, right? To say, no, this is the footage from our new Orpheus, right? It's not Julio whose footage we're seeing. This is a new one. And then he goes down there to get her back. And then you could just rip the whole story, you know? He does a deal. He does some sort of deal with the devil. And then the devil's like, sure, you can have your wife back if you don't look behind you. And then you would just have footage of climbing up there, spooky noises playing behind him. And then eventually he turns around and boom, you know, nothing there. The standard analog horror, nothing there. Or maybe spooky face. And then the wife vanishes, like she's like, you can just see her face there, and then it fades away. Just straight up do that. You need to tie it into the full story though somehow. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. Just spitballing. I think that'd be sick. Give me a survivor of Awakened Syndrome. Show how it's fucked and starting to rile people. Ooh, yeah. Show us someone who's riling people up with it. That'd be interesting. That'd be pretty interesting. Maybe that could be our Orpheus. Our new Orpheus. Okay. But yeah, no, great series so far. Love it. How many views has it got now? 155. Make sure to go check out here. I'll link the channel again. Make sure to go check it out. Definitely subscribe if you like it. I loved that. I loved it. Overall, I would say on a scale of hated to loved it, I would say I liked it very, very much. Very much. If I had to give it like out of 10 so far, and keeping in mind it's not finished, I don't like. Actually, no, you know what? I don't like giving it out of 10. I don't think that's an appropriate scale, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I would love to see where it goes. It does feel like it's wrapping up, but you know, they can always introduce way more stuff. Like I thought Valverde was wrapping up at the end of the second episode, and then Illuvium's like, no, there's like 5 more episodes coming. Like, what? So, you know, who knows, right? Who knows what the plan is. Great, loved it. If you like this video, please consider becoming a patron. Thank you all very much to the patrons who have already supported. Their names are on screen now. If you become a patron, you get access to video previews, scripts, your name in the credits, and seeing main channel videos a week earlier than public.